Hi everybody, let me introduce myself. I'm your computer ethics teacher. My name is Mrs. Ben Abdelwahab Fernini. I will be with you during this semester. I hope that you will appreciate the course. It's not easy to teach you with this social distancing, but I guess technology is interesting and we're gonna make the best of it. So, as an introduction to the course syllabus, I'm gonna try to read you what's going on so as you could have an idea about what the topic is all about. So, introduction to the course syllabus. As you know, information and computer ethics has raised interest in the last few years. The use and evolution of new information technologies led to the most of the compelling new critical issues we encounter today. Current developments in information technology have endangered our privacy and confidentiality, raised our attention to our privacy, and the intensive use of internet has also generated new risks that can be increased by hackers and cyber criminals. So let me show you what the course is all about. So this course in computer ethics comprises 6 main chapters. So we have the first chapter, the one we are having it today, to introduce you about the syllabus and the program, and we will have a quiz at the end of the chapter. So this chapter introduces you to different chapters and comprises quiz that includes the most important concepts in computer ethics that the students have to be familiarized with. So the second chapter, as you may see, which is entitled An Overview on Information and Computer Ethics, it deals with the historical background of information and computer ethics and their developments. Of course, chapter 3 will deal with ethical problems in computer security. So this chapter displays the ethical issues involving computer security, such as hacking, hacktivism, and counter-hacking. The fourth chapter, however, which is titled The Ethics of Internet Research, this one considers the critical issues related to the era. Chapter 5, however, which is entitled Virtual Reality and Computer Simulation, discusses the outstanding questions related to these technologies as the way in which reality is depicted with its misrepresentations. The sixth chapter, entitled Cyber Conflict, ethics, so investigates the ethical problems in these areas of cyber conflict and attempts to answer them within an ethical framework. Last chapter, entitled The Challenges of Intellectual Property, mainly explores the ethical issues linked with the use of and distribution of file sharing software. So, as you could see, I think at the beginning, I guess we have announced 6 chapters, but I haven't really taken into consideration the first chapter, which is supposed to be actually as an introduction. So you may see like 7, but in fact there are 6, because the first one I haven't really considered as a chapter, since it's just an introduction to the curriculum and then it's a computer quiz. So this is just to put you in the context, actually. Right, so computer ethics quiz. We have a series of questions. We have like 22 questions, multiple choice questions that you're gonna answer. In order to answer them, actually, sorry, you are supposed to find out about the words which are difficult. For example, here it's gonna give us the definition of computer ethics. So of course, in the 20 questions, there are, I think, 2 questions that deal with this definition. So this is a more complete one, and you have a very simplified one. So, well, what are computer ethics? So in A, we have an honest moral code that should be followed when on the computer. B, it's a computer program about honesty. C, it's a computer that fits on or under a desk. And the last one is a list of commandments. So which one is the right answer? Normally, you should have, when you are listening to this course, I prefer that you do it alone at home after finding out all about the difficult words you may find, and then you listen to the answer which is going to be given to you right now. So the right answer, as you may guess, is A. It's an honest moral code that should be followed when on the computer. So this is one of the definitions. Of course, when you have to define computer ethics, you're not obliged to give us the same words. Just say it in your own words. Number 2. So if we take number 2, what is not an example of a cyberbullying? So what is not? So here you don't give us the definition, but you try to find out what is not an example of cyberbullying. So A, creating an embarrassing picture of your classmates and forwarding it to your friends' email addresses. B is sending someone a mean text. C is bullying someone in the hallway. Or D, threatening someone in an instant message. So what could be number 2? Of course, you have thought about it, you've done it at home before, so the right answer is C. Great. So let's see the third one. The third one, as you see here, TH, it's for like Y, which is you. Here, this is Old English. When we say commandments in computer ethics, so we think of Old English, and in Old English, you was written this way, THOU. This is Old English. New English, we write it with the YOU. So you should not create software. So you have a blank and then software or games. So you should not create difficult, which is A, copyrighted, which is B, easy, or harmful. So I'm sure you got the answer, which is great, this one. So this is D. Number 3, this is the answer, which is D. Now let's go to the fourth question, which is not a consequence of plagiarism. Of course, plagiarism, you know what it means. So now we are going to try to find out what is not a consequence. Of course, you know what's reason, consequence. So this is what is not a consequence. So A is you can get kicked out of college. You can make a 0 on your assignment. C, you can get fired from your job. Or D, you get a warning from your college professor. So which one is the right answer for question number 4? Of course, this is D. Remember, we say which is not. We didn't say which answer is right. We say which is not a consequence of plagiarism. So pay attention to the question. This is the most important thing, because when we have to answer a question, the most important thing is to pay attention to the words. So it makes a difference. The not makes all the difference. So 5, which is not a type of cyberbullying? Okay, what is not the type? So we have mean girls, which is A, power, hungry or revenge of the nerds, big bad bully, the vengeful angel, or the inadvertent cyberbully because I can. So of course you have to search about all these, and then you have to decide which one is the right one. Obviously 5, yes, and pay attention, 5 is C, and pay attention that we say which is not a type. Once again, okay, it's very misleading, because sometimes people think about what is this right answer, and then they answer the other way, and that's what makes all the difference between the two. So let's see now number 6, I guess, yes, which is here. Number 6, once again, as you can see, we have you shall not copy, okay, the software or material. So software material, so we have A, public domain, okay, we have B, copyrighted, and then we have C, self-created, or we have self-published. So what is the right answer for 6? It is B. Very nice. Okay, I'm saying once again, they are supposed that you have answered this before, and then you are going just to check your answers with me. Which is an example of plagiarism? Remember, before we said what is not a consequence of plagiarism before, and now we are going to see which is an example of plagiarism. In other words, it's like a definition of plagiarism. So we have four possibilities once again. For example, in A, we have reading a paragraph online and typing it in your own words. This is for A. B, copying and pasting someone else's work into your paper using quotation marks and citing the author. C, typing a paper in your own words. Or D, copying and pasting a sentence from the internet into your paper. So, 7, logically, it's D. Okay, here is D. So, number 8, check 2 ways to prevent or stop cyberbullying. We have to check 2 ways. So we have here, in number 8, we have 2 answers, right? So we are going to try to check 2 ways to prevent or to stop cyberbullying. So A, forward the main message about a bully to your friends. Tell a parent, teacher, or administrator. Not forwarding mean text sent to you about a classmate. And then use instant messaging to talk to your friends about someone's outfit you didn't like that day at school. So here, remember, there is in capital letter we have the word to. So we have 2 ways in 8, which are actually B and C. So these are 2 ways to prevent or to stop cyberbullying. Now we go to number 9. Which of the following is not, once again, this is not a rule listed in Computer Discovery's 10 Commandments of Computer Ethics? So there are 10 famous commandments about computer ethics. You are not obliged to know them by heart, but when you see them, you can recognize them because they are logical, and these are the way people should behave whenever they are using a computer or they are on the net. So let's see the 5 possibilities here. We have 5 possibilities. So you shall not use a computer to email. B, you shall not use a computer to cyberbully. C, you should not use a computer to interface with other people's computer work. You should not use a computer to be nosy or snoop into other people's computer files. You should not use a computer to steal. So here you have to decide which one is not. Obviously it's A. Okay, let's go to number 10. Which is not a consequence of copying or distributing copyrighted software. A, community service. B, imprisonment. And then C, up to $10,000 in legal fees. Or D, up to $50,000 in civil fees. So you have to decide here which one, and obviously it's A. Number 11. Which of the following is not a rule listed in Computer Discovery's 10 Commandments of Computer Ethics? So here once again, among the 10 of them, I have chosen you shall not and then thou shall not in order to see that there are 2 kinds of writing you, but because they are commandments, sometimes people use the Old English, but both are okay. I have chosen the both in order for you to see that they are, oh no, they all mean you as well. You should not use a computer to lie. Sorry, here there's a mistake. Normally you should have B, C, and D. Sorry, there's a mistake in here. So you shall not let others borrow your computer, and then you shall not use a computer to plagiarize, and you shall not respect respect other at all times when using the computer. Which of them is not a rule listed in the computer? So here, obviously, the right answer is C. But here you have to take into consideration the problem. Okay. There is a problem here between A, B, C, and D. Okay. So you should not use a computer to lie. This is something which has no sense, actually. You should not let others borrow your computer. Okay. So this is, of course, this is the one. You should not let others borrow your computer. This is actually, which is supposed to be B, actually, here. This is the second one. Okay, because there's a mistake over here. I'm sorry about it. Okay, so number 12. Number 12. Let's see if it's yeah, this is number, okay, so it's before. Okay, let's see. Oh gosh, this is 15. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so this is 14, 13, and we need 12 because we were doing, okay, this is 12. Perfect. Good, but it started before, I guess. So what's going on over here? Okay, so let's do it this way. Probably it's much better. Yeah, safer, I would say. Yeah. So this is what we tried, number 12. It seems like every time Melanie logs onto her account, Stanley knows about it and sends messages that cover her screen with text. At first, she thinks it's funny, but now it's really starting to bother her. So the messages reformat the text on her screen, and actually, besides the kind of creepy, it's kind of creepy the way he always knows she's logged on. Of course, everybody would feel disturbed this way, and of course it happens for so many people. So A, you should not interfere with other people's computer work. B, you shall think about the social consequences of the program you write. And C, you shall not use the copy commercial software for which you have not paid. This is a problem because most people do. We do all of us do. D, you shall not use a computer to harm other people. So this is for 12, and obviously it's A. Logically, it's A because nobody has to interfere with other people's work. If we take 13 this way, so Julie has walked away from a lab computer without logging off. Trish, sit down and still logged in as Jules, send inflammatory emails, messages out of a member of students and post similar messages on the class newsgroup. So, A, you should not use a computer to harm other people. B, you should not use other people's computer resources without authorization. C, you should not use a computer in ways that show consideration and respect. D, you should not use a computer to steal. So, which one, according to you, is right? Which is the right answer? Of course, it's B. Let's move to number 14. Now here we give you situations and it's up to you to try to find out about the answer. So Marla figures out that when she's logged into the server, she can look at others' directories, make copies of files, and deposit new files. The operating system was designed to allow this functionality so that people could share the work. So Mr. Klonsinski objects when he observes Marla poking around in another student's directory. But Marla responds by saying, if the system allows me to do it, and there is no specific rule against it, where is the problem? So she doesn't see what the problem is. So what should we do in this case? So we have 4 possibilities. You should not snoop around in other people's files. Sorry. Sorry. So B, you should not use a computer to bear false witness. C, you should not interfere with other people's computer work. Or D, you should not use a computer to harm other people. So obviously for this answer it's A. Okay, now we go to 15. We have another situation as well. I'm sorry. So if we go to 15 here once again, so we have a situation which is not that different from the other ones, but it's a bit similar. So let's see. This is the one. Here we are. So 15, a secretary on the campus of a tax-supported university has been requested to give her staff a password to her supervisor. The supervisor would like to check the secretary's email when she's not at work to see if departmental related mail is coming. So the secretary, I'm coming in. The secretary is not comfortable giving her password to her supervisor, but is afraid. She's afraid to say no. So possibilities, we have A, you shall not snoop around in other people's files. B, you should not appropriate other people's intellectual output. C, you should not use a computer to bear false witness. Or D, you should not use a computer in ways that show consideration and respect. So this is for 15, obviously. So of course, this is, you should not use a computer to bear false witness. You should not appropriate other people's intellectual property. You should not snoop around in other people's files. Of course, this is okay. So we go to 16. Tina's email is being diverted and sent out to her entire class. The messages are quite personal and Tina is very embarrassed. Is this a violation of any commandment? So A, it's true, and B, it's false. Okay, A is true and B is false. Logically, of course, it's A. This is true. So number 17. Ross has been an active participant at a chat site for teens. He knows a few of the peoples in real life, but many live in other cities. One of them, Stewart, will be coming through town in a few weeks and wants to get together. He asked Russ for his home phone and phone number, of course, and address. Russ suggests that they just meet at a mall, and Stewart argues that but when Russ is home info anyway, in case he's delayed. So we have 4 other possibilities. You should not use a computer to steal. B, you should not use a computer in a way that show consideration and respect. You should not think about the social consequences of the program you write, or you should not use other people's computer resources without authorization. So for 17, which one is right? Of course, so this is about C. Let's go to the next question, which is 18. Breaking the computer system of other people to acquire confidential information or gain financial benefits. This is piracy, this is phishing, this is Napster, or this is hacking. Of course, it's D. I'm sure that everybody knows about this. 19. Copying ideas, expressions, and graphical designs without acknowledging owners and claim it as yours. Is it phishing? Is it plagiarism? Is it hacking? Or is it software piracy? Of course, this is B, which is plagiarism. Let's go to number 20. Ethics are, this is the definition I spoke about at the beginning of the course. This is a very, very concise definition. So we have moral principles, we have official rules or community guidelines. For 20, of course, the answer is A. 21, so we have ethical issues are important to academics because we should be nice to everyone whenever our behavior affects other people or only when we are being observed. So this is for, of course, this is C. The last question, now the last question is about, yeah, this is the last question. Okay, just a second. Okay. The last question. So, which of the following is not a rule listed in Computer Directory's 10 Commandments of Computer Ethics? So, you shall not use a computer to lie. You shall not copy copyrighted software and materials. You shall not use a computer to plagiarize, or you shall not respect others at all time when using the computer. Of course, it's D. I'm sure there are some simple questions, and sometimes, as you may see, the questions they seem as being redundant, but actually they're not. Each time they ask you about specific points or to make you memorize. So this is just to put you in the mood and to put you in the context of computer ethics. There are a lot of words that are new for you. So this is just to have, like, if you know 6, 10, up to 10 words today, that's great. Okay, this is great in order to start the course together. I would like you to remember them. I am not asking you to have the definitions by word, of course, just to have you can rephrase the definition into your own words. This is the most important for me, so I hope you have understood. Of course, if you have any question, you can always post them on the Moodle platform. I would be very happy to answer them. And of course, we're gonna meet together sometime. The administration will put a note for you on the time when we're meeting. So the courses you're gonna have in computer ethics will be like this. You will have the course which is posted, and you will have the audio course, and of course the interaction. You can send me any question you may have. I will be very pleased to answer them. So thank you for your attention, and hope to see you sometime next time for the second course. Bye bye.